What's included with a home inspection? The state of Maryland, they have certain standards that every home inspector, inspection company has to adhere by, but it's a minimum standard. For instance, like your roof, you don't have to walk the roof as a home inspector. You don't have to use a drone. You can do that from the ground with binoculars or with no binoculars. But what we like to do is we like to use a drone for the roof, or we like to walk the roof. Either way, we want to make sure that we can get up close to your roof surface and your flashings and things like that. That way we know what is going on with your roof and you have a good idea as to what kind of condition it's in. The other thing that Maryland doesn't require is they don't require home inspectors to get into the attic. That's something that we like to do. So when we get into the attic, the roof is one side of it. It can look good. You can have everything looking nice up there, newer. But when we get in the attic, that's where we're going to see if there's been any leaks in the past, if there's any leaks presently possibly going on. We're going to be able to see like what kind of insulation they have up there, if it's enough, what the structure is like, things like that. And then so after we get your roof done, we like to do the exterior. On the exterior, we're looking at your grading, we're looking at your siding, your windows, and your deck, if there's a deck, your patio. We're testing your electrical. We're looking at your AC units out there. There's many things on the exterior that we're looking at. And then when it comes to your structure, something to that, we go over your structure, your foundation, what your floor is made out of, what kind of condition it's in, how are your walls, how are your ceilings, how are your roof members. The electrical is part of your inspection as well. Maryland has another thing called representative numbers. Those representative numbers, you don't have to test every single outlet. You don't have to test every single thing in the house. But when we can get to an outlet, we can get to a switch, we test those with your heating, your cooling, and your ventilation. So like your HVAC, those are included as well. So we'll test your heat, the cooling system, once you know how old it is. And then your plumbing system. We're going to run the water at every sink, every bathtub, every shower. We're going to flush the toilets or make sure the toilets are secured. We like to use a thermal camera for the plumbing as well. So at the end of the inspection, after we've run all the water, we're going to go through with a thermal camera at the end, and we're going to spot check underneath your plumbing fixtures, underneath your bathrooms, underneath your kitchens. Anywhere where there's plumbing, we'll spot check those areas with a thermal camera. And that'll give us a better chance as to maybe what's seeing, if there's a potential leak that might be going on that we can't just see with our naked eye. We also use a thermal camera for the heating and the cooling. We'll turn the heat on, the cooling on at the end of the inspection. When we turn that on, whether we're testing the heat or the cooling for that day, we're going to test all of your vents, and we're going to get make sure that you have temperature coming out of those vents. We'll have pictures of those, and we could show you that at the inspection too. The equipment that we use is very high tech, but there's a certain way that you have to use it so it can be effective and know what you're looking at. And then the rest of the interior, the rest of the home is pretty much included with the inspection, with a small exception of a couple things. But all your windows, your doors, those are also representative numbers that the state puts out there. You don't have to test every window, but we test every window that we can get to. We test every door. We look at your flooring. We look at your tile. Look for cracks, things like that. Make sure everything's nice and flat and things aren't sloping in certain areas that could be structure or could be, interior flooring issues. And it really depends on the type of house. If you have a house that's 300 years old versus a house that's 5 years old as well. And then another thing too that Maryland doesn't require is they don't require that you test appliances as a home inspector, but we do test them as a courtesy to you. We would turn them on. We'll make sure that water runs through them, make sure that they drain properly. And we'll turn your ovens on, make sure your burners are working, make sure your oven turns on, make sure it's heating up, your refrigerator, make sure it's cool, freezer, make sure it's cooler. And then you're also going to get an interactive maintenance guide that comes to the house for free. So with that, after the inspection, which you'll get the same day you'll get your inspection report the same day, with your interactive maintenance guide, you're going to have a free system that's going to be for the life of the house. So it's going to help you with reminders such as it's time to clean your gutters. It's time to turn off your hose bibs for the winter time so they don't freeze. It's time to change your HVAC filter. There's numerous reminders for you in there, and it's totally customizable too. You can add stuff. We try to set it up for a typical single family home. So if that's something that you have more than what a typical single family home might have, you can add things to it, like it's time to clean the septic system. So it's a great tool to have, and that's something that comes completely free as well. We look forward to meeting you. We look forward to helping you with your home inspection. And again, remember, the inspection process, we try to make it more educational than anything else. We want to make sure that you understand what's going on with the home that you're purchasing. That way, you make a more informed, confident decision. At the end of the day, if we know what's going on with your house and you don't, then we have failed. So that's a big goal for us, to make sure that you understand clearly what's going on. So if you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out, and we'd love to help you with those questions and any other services that you might need. Look forward to seeing you soon, and hope you have a great day.